Welcome everyone, this is Silvers casting another game from the North American ladder. Now this is a platinum level match between a Terran and a Terran. So we have a good old mirror matchup right now. And introducing the players, representing the blue Terran we have zcerebro, and representing the red we have Damen. Now this replay was submitted to me on the usbattle.net forums. I do have a post going on there with a list of my videos as well as the option to submit one of your own. So if you've seen my cast and you like what you see and you would also like to have a cast of one of your own great games, just send an email to thesilvercaster032@gmail.com. So I am interested to see what is going to happen in this game because all mirror matchups kind of have a air of incredibility because your opponent has the exact same tools that you have, and these are both Terran players, and Terran has a lot of cool stuff to play with early on in the game, such as Reapers, Hellions, Widow Mines, drops. So I'm kind of interested to see what happens. Now the depots have gone down. As you can see, Damen is slightly ahead in his completion of his, so he's going to be just slightly ahead in the econ. Now if you're a new player, it is important to start building your first supply unit as quickly as you can, because that little bit of time that you're not building your next worker is actually going to put you a little bit behind. So you can barely see, yeah, it's just a little bit at this point. And they both have gone for a barracks first, so we'll see if there's an early expand followed. However, both of them are getting gas. They're actually doing the exact same build right now, so there's probably not an expansion anytime soon. Now Damen's scout is starting to enter zcerebro's base. As you can see, he has a couple moves passed to get some good scouting information, so we'll see what he decides to do with said information. And so once again, this is on Newkirk Precinct. I do love this map because of the terrain and the open airspace, so drops are going to be definitely a big play here, considering the medevacs can easily fly over and not be worried about any ground forces spotting them. So Damen's SCV is just chilling his opponent's base, kind of taking a load off. He's taken 5. You know, he had to run all the way over here from his own base, so I think he's just decided to take a little break. However, zcerebro's Marine has spawned and probably going to take out this SCV. Damen's SCV is running, however, he is almost dead. He has 1 shot left. It looks like he's not going to be able to make it, considering the supply depots are up. So this guy actually, one of zcerebro's SCV managed to pick up the kill. As you can see, there's SCV's body disintegrating, and this SCV has drawn first blood. So he is now currently the MVP of this game. So we do have a Reaper underway for zcerebro. Now he's probably going to use this to get some scouting information. Maybe he can get a couple easy worker kills here. So we'll see what he decides to do with that. And he's also decided to follow up with an expansion. Now in the meantime, Damen has started building a reactor on his barracks. We'll see if he decides to switch it over with the factory he's currently building to maybe get some fast Widow Mines or Hellions underway. I don't know, we will see. So it looks like there might be some sort of early attack from Damen, considering he hasn't expanded yet. He's already working on his factory and reactor. And so this early expo by zcerebro, if he can take care of any harassment without losing too much, he'll be able to probably come out on top, considering his expansion is almost done. Now, in the meantime, his Reaper has actually made it over the own base. He actually has a really nice move path to avoid being spotted by these Marines, which do have the custom skins right now. I'd like to point that out. They have a nice Beretta on their gun. Maybe they can stab some other Marines with it. And the Reaper has entered the base. However, he is just getting surrounded by SCVs, and he won't be able to make it out in the end, while that Reaper has gone down. Now, let's find the task of seeing which unit got the kill. Ah, this guy. So we have 2 SCV kills by SCVs. So a little bit of SCV homicide is going on in this game. So that's pretty fun. Now, Damen has actually started to produce 2 Hellions at a time. He's sending them out on an attack. In the meantime, he has starport complete, and he's actually building a medevac, so we probably will be seeing a Hellion drop very soon. While zcerebro's expo has finished, so he's actually double orbital commands going, which will put him ahead in the economy. And he is building a bunker right here for possibly any defense, and he's also working on a starport and a barracks, as well as an engineering bay. He has produced 1 Widow Mine. We'll see if it can do any damage here. And is deciding to burrow his mineral line, so he's actually blindly anticipating this attack. However, his Reaper did get, I believe, a good scout. Yeah, see, his Reaper did see the starport and the factory, so he is responding and such by building a window mine as mineral mine and 1 marine. However, the Hellions have approaching the base as well as a medevac. That was pretty interesting pathing to get the medevac over here, and is now boosting in. We'll see if it can do some damage. He has dropped the Hellions on the outskirts of the base. We'll see if he can pull out some evade attacks here. And the Hellions are going in. However, this Widow Mine is going to activate and take out 1 Hellion as well as a couple SCVs. And the Hellions are going to town on the SCVs, picking up a couple easy worker kills. 2 workers has fallen so far. The SCVs have pulled off the line. However, the Hellions are in the pursuit. And it looks like they might be able to get a couple more. As more SCVs have fallen, he has lost a significant amount of the SCV. However, he has not given up on his attack because the medevac has go down due to that Viking. He's going on these SCV again. They are all perfectly lined up. We'll see if he can actually get a couple more kills here, as there is not enough Marines here to defend this. The SCVs have gone down in great numbers. Most of them are dead. The Viking has landed and probably will clean off his Hellion, but without doing severe damage. Wow, that was a pretty good Hellion harass, as we just saw. Considering he has killed 20, he just killed 20 workers. He killed 19 workers in that attack, and so that's going to put zcerebro severely behind in this game. Now, most people would say, like, that's the game right here, considering the SCV count is 1428. However, zcerebro has already, his expansion is already up, and it is an orbital command, so the double mule droppage will actually probably keep him up in the economy. As you can see, with those mules going, he's actually slightly ahead now, so yeah, that did pay off. And it looks like he decided to cancel that. I believe it was a reactor going to go for a factory, probably for some tanks, and I have the wrong, yep, there we go. And the expo is down for Damen, so he's decided to follow up his attack with building an expo, and he's decided to move out with some tanks and marines and 1 banshee. So we'll see if that can do anything, considering right now zcerebro has pretty much nothing. He has 2 Vikings and 5 marines, so he needs to get some defense out here quite soon, or else he might be ended. This game might end quite early. I don't know, we will see. And he also has, Damen has a banshee to support his attack, so that will give him vision of the high ground, enabling the tanks to attack. And he has zcerebro has 1 middle mine at the top of this base, and it looks like this banshee is going to fly right into it. It is already weakened, and the middle mine activates and the banshee goes down. However, these 2 armies are just going to pass each other, and so that wind mine has already paid for itself by knocking off the opponent's banshee. And I believe there are no more flyers in for Damen, so he will not be able to attack. This marine is in the wrong place at the wrong time. It is going to get destroyed, and this marauder is going to go down as well. Maybe some of these marines will run back into this widow mine, getting an early kill. However, zcerebro has built a tank. This might be able to hold us off, as it is positioned on the high ground. This widow mine is not going to activate and will be killed by the scan. However, there are some Vikings here. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do something. The Damen siege tanks are sieging this bunker, as zcerebro responds by unloading his marines in return. And in the production, we both have stim going underway. However, zcerebro's stim is almost done, while Damen's is not nearly complete. And we also have the upgrades going underway. We have +1 armored on its way for zcerebro, and a banshee is going to fly in, but these Vikings are here to answer and respond. It looks like this banshee will probably go down, but these marines have moved in to defend it. So right now zcerebro is looking a little up in the upgrades tab. However, in the army supply, he is actually down quite a bit. Yep, he's down by 14. So these Vikings are probably going to be able to take out this banshee here, and there it goes. So these Vikings are doing a great job at providing some air defense for zcerebro. And as you can see in the production tab, we do have cloaking field underway for zcerebro, although he's building 1 banshee now. So he looks like he's actually going to build some banshees as well. And Damen's sticking with straight marines, straight tanks at this point. We'll see if that can he can actually get a good attack here, considering he has reinforcements streaming across the screen to siege Damen's base. And in the meantime, his expo has finished, so he is actually probably going to pick up in the economy, considering he is preventing Damen's economy from being placed. This supply depot is on fire and is going to be repaired, or it will probably fall. However, this SCV is repairing it. We'll see if it actually managed to survive, considering there is a tank in range. He just needs to be able to scan it. And I just heard a medevac load up. Here's the medevac. The medevac has loaded up and is probably going to go for a drop. We'll see if we can do some damage here, as zcerebro's units are out of position. The marines have dropped right behind the middle line. They are killed off the SCV building the phase. They are going to town on the SCVs on the middle line. The SCVs, however, are pulled back, and We'll see if this drop will be cleaned up. However, it probably will. The Heroes army has responded. These Vikings are chasing down this medevac. They need to get it, and the Widow Mine is here, but the Vikings were able to take it out. So that is a lot of units lost. Take a look at the units lost tab. It is actually favoring zcerebro at this point. However, it is substantially behind in this economy, and he decides to pull back considering there's no Marines here to defend against this Banshee. It looks like these Banshee might be able to pick up a few kills here, and this tank will probably go down. However, he decides to activate Cloaking Field. That's probably a waste of energy at this point. As you can see, he has queued up a lot of attack commands. These two Marines have just valiantly sacrificed their life to save these tanks. As you can see, their corpse being absorbed into the ground. Wow, so in the meantime, Damen has thrown up his third base. Well, that puts him further ahead in the economy yet again, considering his opponent hasn't even moved on to his natural expansion yet. So we'll see how this game commences, as the units lost tab is favoring zcerebro a lot, but if you look at the economy, it is favoring Damen a lot. So we'll see if zcerebro can hold on here, as he has decided to attack with his Banshee. And unfortunately, Damen has decided to build a missile turret in his mineral line, which is probably smart defense, will probably prevent any aggression by this Banshee. This Banshee decides to go for the building armory, and is most likely will be able to take off this SCV. The SCV goes down, this building will not be complete at this time. He moves for the mineral line, however there is a turret here to defend this. So he repositions his Banshee somewhere else. He's actually decided to finish off this armory. We'll see if he forces to cancel. However, the Marines have stemmed and are here to answer it. This Banshee does cloak, however, I believe the missile turret has been able to spot it. So that Banshee was not able to get much done here, which zcerebro desperately needed in order to hang on to this game. If you look at the units, he is going against a greater number of Marines and tanks, while he is just a few Marines and a few tanks to hold on himself. And that can be represented in the armor supply, considering Damen is around 22 ahead. Now, looking at the upgrades, I'm just wondering where they are at this point. We have stimback and combat shields done for Damen. However, there is no plus attack underway or defense, while we have +1/+1 for zcerebro. So even though his army is inferior, he might be able to hold on here. So we'll see what happens, as we do have another drop going on for Damen. He's continuing to harass his opponent, not giving him any options. However, there's a Widow Mine here. We'll be able to snipe one of these. It does go off, severely damaging the medevacs. However, is not enough, as the full medevacs have unloaded on this mineral line. They have cleared off several SCVs at this point and are in pursuit of the others. However, these medevacs do not have a lot of HP and will most likely be taken down by these Vikings. However, the Vikings are out of position here, but zcerebro's army is here and will be likely be able to clean off his attack. The one medevac is escaping with 8 HP and a boatload of Marines, so that medevac is getting out of there just in the nick of time. However, he's decided to unload on his command center, on zcerebro's building command center, but the medevac does go down. These Marines will die. He's, however, just delaying this command center even more, because considering he's already on his third, while his opponent hasn't even started to have his third underway. So Damen is continuing with the harass here, and is keeping zcerebro on his heels, unable to mass up a large army, unable to get a large amount of SCVs out. As you can see, it is 35-2 for the workers count, and that leaves zcerebro with, actually, he's done a good job keeping up with the SCVs, considering he has been producing 2 at a time for longer than his opponent. So he's 41-49. However, his main is almost mined out, and his natural will be mined out fairly soon at this rate, so really needs to get this third underway if he's going to hold on here. And however, his command center is almost finished, so he might be able to get a good econ up in time in order to defend Damen's next attack, because at this point I don't really think zcerebro can afford to move out here, considering he is outnumbered in a lot of ways. And Damen actually is moving out with a lot of Marines, a couple tanks, and medevacs, so we'll see what he decides to do here, as he is pressing the attack yet again. There, however, is a couple siege tanks up here. You should probably move these siege tanks down here to provide a better line. So he might be able to defend this push with these siege tanks. However, he really should move these into the position up here. And he is moving his third action, unfortunately, at the wrong time, considering Damen's units are on the move command. However, zcerebro is moving out his army, probably unfortunately at the wrong time, considering he actually just spotted the army. zcerebro with the stim is going to chase. However, there is a tank here who will probably be able to defend this, as it is covering his army's retreat. So we might have another siege happening, as Damen has decided to siege his tanks. They are just outside of range of this tank. This Marine is unfortunate and probably will be taken off. There's a couple more damage to these Marines. And if you look at the production tab, Damen has just started his upgrades on his vehicles and his ground. He's going for 2-2 now. So, and we do have an attack going down by Damen. He's decided to take off this easy to kill siege tank, and he only loses 1 Marine in response. So it looks like the unit loss tab is evening up for Damen. So he has all the cards in his hands to win the game here. However, zcerebro has moved out with a 3 dropship drop, and he is responding by using another 3 dropship drop, and is going to place it straight into zcerebro's base. And we'll see how he responds here. The drop is down. He decides to stim and run all his Marines up the ramp to defend against this. This drop might be able to get picked off. However, there is medevac supporting his army, and he has none in response. And he does have his siege tanks guarding the entrance to his base, as the medevacs have picked up the Marines are deciding to escape. In the meantime, the drop at Damen's base has just arrived. The Marines unfortunately are in position of these siege tanks, and there's a good amount of forces here to defend this. It looks like this drop will not be able to do anything, as well as Damen has decided to press the attack to clear up these siege tanks because his army is out of position, and it looks like he has destroyed these siege tanks, and there's a handful of Marines here, but zcerebro's Marines are in mass and will decide to clean this up. And so zcerebro is holding on here. And unfortunately, he decides to just run into these tanks. That is a very bad idea considering they were sieged, and there goes his entire army. So that was probably it. As you can look at the army supply, it is now 23 to 99, and that, unfortunately, that blitzkrieg rush into the tanks did not pay off considering they are still standing, and he has very few forces in response. He only has a handful of Marines which are being attacked right now. This tank does go down, and these Marines will be able to clean this off, and it looks like we have the game here. As zcerebro decides to leave after a very honorable G. Not the GG, just the G. And so, there you have it. That was a Terran vs. Terran Platinum level match. We had a lot of harass going down by Damen, which did put him ahead, and he managed to keep up with that harass throughout the entire game to stay ahead in the economy, even though he was behind in the upgrades. So, in the end, he managed to take his opponent's base by his opponent actually blitzkrieg rushing into a line of siege tanks. So actually, let's play that. Let's do that one more time. That was pretty funny to watch, actually. So it's a little bit further. Yada yada yada. Alright, so this is where it right about happens. These Marines get cleaned off. zcerebro has a healthy amount of Marines, unfortunately doesn't have any medevacs, and this is what happens. I'm going to slow it down for you. We have the Marines rushing into the siege tanks as they all go down. Alright, look at that. Marines' body parts are flying everywhere as these 4 siege tanks have cleaned up. So there you have it. Once again, my name is Silver. If you like my videos, please subscribe and send your replays to thesilvercaster032@gmail.com. And thanks for watching, and go out there and get your game on.